So in this video children we will discuss about the next post fertilization event, that is embryo development. We have already done a video on endosperm development. This is embryo development. So as we all know that how the endosperm has developed, the peck will get multiple divisions will occur, and the peck will get converted into endosperm. Pen will give rise to many free nuclei, and later on those free nuclei will undergo cell formation, and two types of endosperms will be there. One will be the free nuclear endosperm and the other one will be cellular endosperm. So this was done in the previous video. Now let's see what happens to the zygote. What is the fate of zygote? So children, as you see here, zygote will get first converted into pro-embryo. You see, this is zygote, one-celled zygote. It is one cell, so it will have one nucleus. So the zygote will first get converted into pro-embryo. This is pro-embryo, that is first division will take place. And zygote will divide into two cells, so two nuclei. Then this pro-embryo will divide further and will give rise to globular embryo. This is the globular embryo, as you see. Then again the further divisions will give rise to heart-shaped embryo. This is heart-shaped embryo. And later on the heart-shaped embryo will get converted into the mature embryo, and here the mature embryo is having the cotyledons. You see, these are the cotyledons. This is the plumule. This is the radicle, from there where the roots will get arise, and from plumule the stem will arise. So as you see, this is the fate of the zygote. This is how zygote will get converted into mature embryo. So embryo develops at the micropylar end. If you remember, the pollen tube has entered. This is your micropylar end here. The portion where synergids are present. This is the micropylar end. So the pollen tube will enter into through this micropylar end, and it will release the two male gametes. One will fuse here and the other one will fuse here. So this is the micropylar end. So because the zygote is towards the micropylar end, so embryo will also develop towards the micropylar end of the embryo sac where the zygote was situated. So most zygote divide only after the formation of endosperm, of course, because zygote knows that if a zygote has to survive and it has to do lot of work now, because lot of divisions are to be taking place, so it will require lot of energy and nutrition. So what happens is zygote waits. Zygote will wait and it will allow the endosperm first, it will allow the endosperm to be ready, so that zygote can be provided with the nutrition. So most of the zygote divides only after the formation of some endosperm. This gives nutrition to the developing embryo. Now in monocots and dicots, seeds differ greatly, we know that, but embryogeny, that is the earlier development, this early development, okay, is almost similar. Later on, it is decided whether it will have one cotyledon or it will have two cotyledons, but the initial stages of the development are almost similar. The initial embryonic developments are similar in both. Now let's see dicotyledonous embryo. Now it has an embryonal axis. So this is embryonal axis. Okay. Now this embryonal axis, and it is also having two cotyledons, as you see here. These are the two cotyledons. Now the portion of embryonal axis above the level of cotyledon. So children, this is cotyledon. So the portion of axis above the cotyledon, yani we are talking about this portion. So these are the cotyledons. So the portion of axis above the cotyledons, that means this portion, okay, is the epicotyle, right, which will terminate. This epicotyle will terminate, or it will end up with plumule, which is also called stem tip. This will give rise to later on to the stem. The cylindrical portion below the level of cotyledon, the cylindrical portion below the level of cotyledons is hypocotyle. This is hypocotyle, and it will terminate into radicle or root tip, and the radicle is covered by a root cap. Now why? Because children, the cells of the radicle are very young, and they are not very hard, and we know that this radicle has to grow. The meristematic cells are present here which are ready to divide. Now as the root will divide, as the cells of radicle will divide, and as the radicle or the root will elongate, it will have to make a way through soil particles, and this could be harsh for the cells. So to give them a little bit of protection, there is a root cap on the radicle so that there is no harm onto the cells while it is making its way through the soil. Okay, so this is about dicotyledonous embryo. Now let's see the monocotyledonous embryo. They possess only one cotyledon. So this is the cotyledon, which is also known as scutellum. Okay, they only contain only one cotyledon. Here they are having two cotyledons. It is dicot, but here they are having only one cotyledon, which is also known as scutellum. Cotyledons of grass family are called scutellum. It is situated lateral to the embryonal axis. Now you see, this is embryonal axis and it is lateral to the embryonal axis. See, laterally placed, and its lower end, the embryonal axis, has the radicle. This is the radicle at the lower end. It is having the radicle which is covered with a root cap, you see, and this whole portion is enclosed, or it is surrounded by coleorhiza, which is undifferentiated sheath. It is again a type of protection, a sheath which is present around the radicle and the root cap. Portion of the embryonal axis above the level of the attachment of scutellum. Now here the scutellum is attached. This is scutellum and it is attached here. So above it, yani this portion, okay, is the epicotyle, and it has a shoot apex, you can see. Okay, enclosed, this is again enclosed. It is also covered, like radicle has been covered by coleorhiza, shoot apex is also covered by coleoptile, and this is a hollow foliar structure, that is, it is empty, it is hollow, and it is a covering or a sheath which will protect the shoot apex also, right? So this is about the embryo development of both dicot and monocots.